Live everywhere. YouTube, Stochastic, Odd Shopper, Playback, clear across the board. We are everywhere right now. And we got a next level stupid slate going on today. I am very excited to deal with it and talk to one Greg Ehrenberg whenever the hell he gets here. Why can't I move this? Why am I dumb today? Don't answer that. Do not answer that. Haha, got it. What up, y'all? I have some exposures today that are different. But I'm excited about that, especially in a 70,000 entry field.
What's up, Josh?
Greg Ehrenberg, what's good?
Well, what a slate we have today.
It's a peach, brother.
I want to ask you this, because when John Morant gets ruled out, the initial thought is Memphis, you would just assume normally in that kind of situation, Memphis is going to be popular. No John Morant. Then updates. Nobody from the field is playing anybody from Memphis. What did you do with the Grizzlies? Because I think that getting exposure to Memphis, and we don't know the starting lineup, we're going to get that presumably in a handful of minutes, is one of the more interesting spots on the slate.
So I went into it with the intention of I hope I get a lot of Jaren Jackson Jr. because he's got his normal usage rate when Ja's not around. I got 8%. I have 37% of Cam Spencer right now. I think he looks exceptional. I'm very happy to have a ton. Whether he starts or not, I'm probably still going to have some, but my expectation is that he's going to be the starter, and he is my fifth most owned guy right now.
So I also think there's a pretty good chance that Cam Spencer starts. My nuke of the night, by the way, was Triple J. I have Triple J in 26% of lineups. We've been projected for 3% ownership. Maybe our ownership is just off here. This is, to me, a criminal amount of ownership. Also, on FanDuel, Jaren Jackson Jr. is $6,400, Josh, and he was projected for 8% ownership. I don't understand the field just not wanting to play these guys at all. And it's not to say they should be as popular as the Detroit pieces or the Cleveland pieces. The ownership just seems insanely low to me.
If you win $100,000 tonight with Jaren Jackson Jr. in the lineup, I'm not coming to work tomorrow. Oh, you weren't around yesterday. Dude, I touted him from the moment the day started all the way through every single piece of content. He played really well when I was on here for a half hour on Playback. He ultimately ended up being an absolute nothing. But there's probably no one I spoke about more yesterday. I totally forgot about the fact that you didn't hear any of that.
So, I look in chat too, and people Triple J sucks this year. He's trash. He can't play. He's going to get in foul trouble. There's no John Morant. Somebody has to take the shots for Memphis. This Boston team is not the same Boston team from previous years. I want to take shots at 3%. Yeah. I'm not so invested in him. If he has a bad game, my night is ruined. I just think at 3%, there's so much more upside.
I agree with you 1,000%, and I've got way more reasons for you if you'd like them. You ready?
Sure. Give me more confirmation bias for somebody that I'm playing and you're not.
When John Morant's been off the floor just this season, his usage rate is 28% and change. That's 6 percentage points higher than what it normally is. A very different outlook. The second thing that I think is interesting, because I also saw people yammering fouls. Do you know who has the lowest free throw rate on offense of any team in the league right now?
I'm going to assume the Boston Celtics, which would mean less opportunities for Triple J to get himself 2 fouls in 2 minutes, which he seemingly does 75% of the time I'm overexposed to him.
Not only are the Boston Celtics dead last in free throw rate, they are dead last by 4 percentage points. The next closest team is at 24.2%. They're at 20. That's the same gap of 15 more teams ahead of that. They are drawing 0 fouls and certainly not shooting free throws from them. That should help. That said, I just said all of this stuff out loud. We all know what's going to happen now. Although, since I don't have all that much, it's probably helping Triple J. If I swap to him, you're all dead.
But everybody assumes, for whatever reason, this, like Jake DeWitt in chat says, 2 quick ones coming for Triple J. Maybe, but this is also, to me, so much different when he's 3% owned, as opposed to, he's usually 30 to 40% owned in these spots. Nobody's playing him.
I mean, now, typically in these spots, we're going to end up projecting him for like 33% usage, and I don't know where that guy is. I do posit that he's hurt, and he's just, like, that's the reason he is not going as hard as he typically would, that his foot or ankle or whatever the fuck it was in the offseason is just not right yet, and he can't do it. I think this will be a pretty telling sign one way or the other.
Is your best guess that the reasons for his relative struggles this year is just he hasn't been totally healthy? Or do you think it's something else?
I think it has to be health. It makes no sense for him to be passive. Like, he just signed a $240 million extension. By all accounts, it's essentially his team. You know, you want to say it's Ja too, but I don't think Ja has a problem with Triple J. Like, I think he's pretty happy to have him out there. So I don't know why he would be as passive as he is.
It would be really funny if this team is just falling apart because Taylor Jenkins isn't the coach anymore.
I guess it could. Like, could this just be some sort of Triple J mutiny?
There seems to be a job mutiny of sorts.
Well, I mean, he's different.
He's got to be one of the worst decision makers in the league. It just, like, in all, it doesn't even matter what the circumstance is. He seemingly continually finds himself in these situations that he shouldn't be in. And then even if people like they were too harsh on the suspension for the gun thing, it's like, all right, but he's also done it multiple times. He's been warned about it and just does it anyway. He makes horrific decisions constantly.
Yeah, he definitely, if it's not him at the top, he definitely moved up the rankings once Nico got fired.
Yeah. So one other thing that I want to ask you as well, and then we should be getting this Memphis starting. Tony's going to be here in a few minutes. The Memphis starting lineup. We're probably going to get the starting lineup for Memphis while he's here. But I want to get your take here on pay up options as well. Who did you prioritize spending up for on the slate? I have one other kind of thing that's going to tie in for the Memphis starting lineup that I think probably makes a little bit of sense to bring up as a conversation when Tony gets here. But who'd you end up with the most as a pay up option?
We got Walsh in the starting lineup in place of Minot officially.
Okay. No real surprises there. He started the second half over him.
Yeah. Okay. So the guy that I have the most that would be considered a pay up is Alperen Şengün.
Okay.
He is my second most exposed player for today. So I guess that answer would be him. But I also have 31% of Victor Wembanyama.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm overweight to Wemby as well. He was not all that popular today, I thought, with the available salary he had, because if we didn't get Cade and Duren out, it would have just been hard to pay the salary to get up to Wemby. Yeah. But now I just think the raw fantasy points matter in a way where it made it not all that difficult to get to him.
The man that was just shown on the screen is fairly popular today. How much do you have of Paul Reed?
Just 85%. So,
cool. So we split it then. I have the other amount. I have 22.
Okay. So you combine it together and we're averaging like 55% exposure to him.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. That's a weird one for me. I'm very happy with it. I said it on the deeper dive too. Like, if I'm not going to have Paul Reed, I hope it's because I have boatloads of Şengün and Wemby, and that is why it played out that way.
Vince Williams starting over Cam Spencer tonight.
Fuck, I fucking knew it. Does it matter?
I mean, it matters in terms of Vince Williams is a really strong value option. Now, Vince Williams, KCP, Jalen Wells, Triple J, and Jock Landale, your starting five.
Why is Vince Williams small forward, power forward? That's what I meant by does it matter? Like, in my mind, I was just going to be like, oh, this is just like all this Spencer just immediately becomes Vince Williams. But for some stupid reason, he's small forward, power forward. You couldn't have the guard spot at least.
He is on FanDuel. He's a shooting guard on FanDuel.
He's a shooting guard everywhere in life.
All right.
Power forward. Really?
First thought
6'4". 6'4". What are we doing?
First thought here, by the way. Vince Williams is one of the top plays on the slate for a couple of reasons. Number one, he's starting. John Moran is out. But here's the other part of this, too, that you and I have talked about a handful of times. The field's just a little bit weaker this year. A lot of sharper players have left the NBA DFS space thinking that the game is really difficult to beat, and that just made the fields a little bit softer this year. If this trend holds true of what we've seen, Vince Williams is not going to be crazy popular like we see in previous years in these late swap spots.
Definitely less than he typically is.
Cam Spencer became a lot less appealing now, though.
I mean, he's definitely not the guy I'm going to have 37% of any longer, but I still think he's pretty sneaky. I mean, he got the start in this spot last time out. Legit, we have no idea how much Vince Williams can play. That guy has been hurt for 3 straight years.
What's the most he's played this season?
24 minutes.
So what do we think he plays today?
I put 26 in on my first draft and then dropped Cam Spencer to 22, and now I'm taking a look at it to see if any of that makes me sick to my stomach.
So here's one. Well, there's a couple of relevant things. The 24 and a half minutes, or the 24 and a third, whatever we want to call it, it was last game. So there has been a little bit of an uptick in minutes. The other part of this, too, that scares me, though, is it is the tail end of a back-to-back coming off the most minutes he's played of the entire season.
Yeah. Look, at 26, he looks okay, like in the grand scheme of things. But at the same time, he is going to be owned less than whatever okay looks like. And that's me saying this with, having looked at it for 90 seconds. So by default, like the positive leverage alone is going to pull him into more interesting shit. And I've got some space. Oh, by the way, we didn't talk about my most exposed player.
Who could that be?
Danish Jenkins.
Oh, I mean, that's not a surprise.
Yeah, but it's Danish Jenkins,
It is funny with some of these situations because when we had the super chalk Ronald Holland slate the other day, what was Jenkins' ownership on that slate? Sub 1%?
Yeah, something like that.
And now, fairly similar situation, and now it's everybody goes ahead and plays it. Totally reasonable. By the way, Paul Reed knocking down the 3 there. Jenkins already has a couple of assists, so really good start for the Pistons guys here. But I feel really good about Jenkins. It is just funny how these things go, where it's like nobody considered playing him in a similar spot a couple of days ago, and then he has a good game in that spot, and now it's like, well, we all have to play Jenkins now.
Yeah. They are just uncomfortably thin. And I was very nervous about what we could get out of Karis LeVert today.
I had a bunch of LeVert on a run that I did like 20 minutes before. I finished with just under 20% of LeVert, but there was a run where I had a bunch of them, and then as more value kind of opened up, I got to a little bit less of him.
I have 5%.
Oh, well, there we go.
Oh,
all right. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Technology, baby. How are we, fellas?
What's going on, man?
We
How
are
are you?
going through. First off, I'm happy that you got on the stage without any issues because there was. Should I tell the story, Josh?
Tell me the whole story. First, let me introduce myself. Tony Reale. Great to meet you guys. I admire the passion. I admire the whip around nature of your channel. And now tell me, give me the whole story.
This one's
All
good.
right. So we had a, by the way, entirely my fault. Nobody else should be blamed for this. This will all go on me, this story. We had a faux pas, we shall call it, about a year ago, where we had a producer of ours who had said that he didn't have access to the channel. His name is Jordan Klein. And in chat, he says,
why are you giving his name out, man?
look, everybody here knows who it is. Everybody here knows who it is. So it's no big deal. But what ended up happening is somebody, because Jordan was our producer, everybody knew who he was. Somebody made a fake Jordan Klein account, but the L, they changed it to a 1. So it was not actually our friend Jordan. It was somebody else. So he goes, hey, I lost my back end privileges. Could you enable them for me? Something along those lines. So I go, yeah, no problem. So go enable him, give him all of the abilities to produce the shows we do here on playback. Within about 5 seconds, Josh and I here, we are kicked off the stream.
I know this move.
All of our access.
Yeah, man.
The NBA game comes off the screen, and on the screen goes porn. So
wow, they went all way. They're aggressive. Wow.
So it starts with the heterosexual porn, turns into gay porn afterwards, and our audience here all sticks around because we do betting DFS content.